going viral for letting 23 guys run a train on me with my friend Bonnie.
Many. Oh my God. For fuck's sake. Got ran through by 101 men and my eyes are still recovering from all the bodily fluids that went in them.
Don't mind this, someone actually bit my lip. I want to show you guys the aftermath of what it's like to get ran through by that many guys in one day. I feel like I've been hit by a bus. I am so achy. We went from 9 AM till about 11 PM, I think it was.
Super freak, she's super freaky.
Personally, I don't care. As long as I'm in the middle, as long as I'm around guy like 50, then I'm cool. Anything after 50 is crazy. Anything before 50, she's not even warmed up yet. I don't know.
You're nasty.
Last time I checked, this video had roughly 11 million views. So it's clear that her dad has seen it, her mom has seen it, her cousins have seen it, her therapist has seen it, their therapists have seen it, and they know they're about to get rich off of this mentally ill woman. And the fact that she makes this as if it's some get ready with me content like people do when they go to their day jobs is a little bit of an insight to see how people who do OnlyFans are totally off their rocker. But if you thought that was insane, which I don't think anybody could not think that was insane, this is how insane OnlyFans is getting.
I started an OnlyFans.
I heard you made $1 million in a day.
And most people, when they start an OnlyFans, they don't like show much out the gate. And I was just like, okay.
What'd you show?
Like I've showed my tits and stuff already.
Nips?
Yeah. I sent you a picture.
She sent it to me for free. I said, God damn. Yeah, I understand why people pay.
First time seeing them?
No.
I've gotten some crazy shit. I've seen some people like on their hands and knees with their credit cards in their mouths. I only thought 20,000 people would subscribe. Like that's what I had in my head. I wanted to underestimate and over deliver. And there's like 60 something thousand people that subscribed. So I'm like, I don't even know how to navigate that. And I want it to be authentic. And I'm not trying to like shit on anybody, but a lot of people do these agencies where they have people respond for them. But I don't want to do that. I want it to be like me being authentic and responding. So I'll go through like every night and like respond to these people.
That was first ballot OF Hall of Famer Corinna Kampf. She's literally like one of the OGs when it comes to this OF content. She's like Bart Starr or George Mikan or Hulk Hogan and the guys. She is literally an OG in the game. And on her first day of doing OF content, she made $1 million. But now, after 3 years of selling her body and posting it everywhere on the internet, she has officially retired. She's removed all links in her bio after putting out 506 photos, 33 videos, and making millions, and I mean millions upon millions of dollars from doing OnlyFans content.
6.6 billion?
You want to show you my earnings since I've started?
Yes. Wait, how long since you've
3 years-ish. This
What?
is like what I,
And she doesn't even like.
that's my, look at my first month.
Oh my God.
That's public.
$67 million, Colonel.
If you do the math on that, that's about $22 million a year. That's legitimate NBA money. It's definitely NFL money. That's like Draymond Green, Lonzo Ball, Dylan Brooks money. That's an insane concept to believe that posting pictures online can land you some sort of earnings like that. Now, people were doing OnlyFans before Corinna, but she's basically like the Magic and Bird type situation, or hell, even MJ, because when she stepped in the game in 2020 during the Panorama, it changed the world completely. And now, after a couple years of being in this workforce, slaving at the phone, she has decided to take her earnings and ride off into the sunset, no pun intended at all, because she's made literal generation money off of people wanting to pay to essentially see lingerie pictures of her. And speaking of MJ, just like in the 90s when he came into the league, there was a boom of players saying they wanted to be like Mike. You know, I want to be like Mike. They even made a movie about it. But now there are so many actresses or pseudo corn stars that want to be just like Corinna that it's honestly becoming a problem in today's society. The pursuit of happiness and the need to grind and get out of this 9-to-5 culture just to become some sort of internet celebrity can lead to a bunch of dangerous things. And honestly, just a bunch of bad looks like we see on the internet, like that first clip that we saw. And don't get me wrong, I don't know who that woman is in the first video. I'm sure she's making a ton of money, but honestly, receiving 100 guys in one night is like unhealthy. Like without a shadow of a doubt, it's unhealthy. Even if she's on the higher rungs, maybe not a Corinna level, maybe not on a Jalen Brunson contract level, but you know, somewhere down there with a Kobe Buffkin level because she's making a lot of money. I'm done with the basketball references. There's somebody that's always watching her, trying to replicate her to try to get to this next level. And for the most part, they're probably only like 18 years old. This is the equivalent to people saying they want to rap, they want to play basketball, ball. Hell, they even want to scam. And the crazy thing is people will see the Corinnas of the world or Mrs. OF 101 at the beginning of the video, and they'll say, I want to replicate this. I want to go for this. I want to go for the bag.
This screenshot is for you, and it's also for the people that keep asking me why I show my camel toe on TikTok and why I flash my pants and other things like that. It's because I make this kind of money, and I would say that's pretty good money for someone my age. I had a really good month in April. Hopefully I'll get back up there. I just haven't been making very many new TikToks recently because I've been so busy. But yeah, in answer to your question, yeah, I make really good money from OF.
Now, clearly she is running away with the bag. Content creation can be very fruitful, and I'll get to that in a second. The problem is before you run, you have to walk, and before you walk, you have to crawl. But the ways that people are going about crawling, walking, hell, even putting up their head in order to get some sort of OF content subscribers to their platform is what makes all of this deplorable to me.
Mr. Beast regrets making this girl famous. This is Camila. She wore the number 067 in one of his Squid Game videos, and she's been getting a lot of hate due to the fact that she has now started a OF because now she's famous and stuff like that, and she's been asking her brother specifically really weird questions and forcing him to make TikTok videos and YouTube videos. Let's watch one of the videos of her interviewing her little brother.
Hi, Christian, do you care that your sister has an OF, like, since I just bought, like, a mansion?
I don't really care what the f you do. That's your problem. You can deal with the hate.
Fair enough. Still got a cool car, though. Huh?
I still get bullied at school.
That's your problem. You deal with that hate.
How does it feel that you can only afford this car because of me and I made your entire career?
Dude, I hope you know that I literally changed the status, like, your status at school, because I picked you up.
You know what I got called at school?
Bro, I fixed it!
How? What? Do you know what I
picked you up in the R8!
It made it worse.
How?
I was called, is it pink guy? Some kid came up to me and said that.
Okay, well, you can just tell me your sister drives a cool car, so...
That's right. This person, and I'm not going to acknowledge her name, honestly, because I don't know it, is using her brother to promote her OnlyFans. Now, it's not some direct, hey, get in my video, shoot this content, etc., etc. And you know how I already feel about family content on this channel. I think it's bad. I think it's disgusting. I think it's despicable. And that's just family content on YouTube. When it comes to promoting something that is supposed to be so intimate, so private, publicly putting your brother's face out there, who is still a young child, a young man, still developing his self, his feelings, his rationale, his understanding of how to process emotions, and having him be known as being Mr. Pink, yeah, it's all fun and games until eventually somebody gets hurt and somebody's feelings gets crushed because of this nickname.
What's the best and worst part about being my brother?
The best part, I get to go to Disneyland. You take me places, which is really fun. I like that. The worst part, you're just getting way too famous.
Period.
I've been getting name called a lot more at school. Some random girl said, see you later, Pinky.
Pinky. Well, it's only going up from here, so I'm only gonna become more famous. Deal with it. Don't be so sensitive, like a little bit. Pinky.
Shut the f up.
And usually when your older sibling gets a job, you have nothing but celebration and praise for them. You congratulate them, etc., etc. But this isn't the only time we've seen situations where OF sisters that are older have effects on their family members that are younger.
Bro, like, I can't even play football or talk shit anymore football because everybody wants to fucking bring up your Twitter and how they follow you.
I don't know when this new trend of OF content creators using kids in their content has come along, but honestly, there has to be some sort of legality involved. Where are the parents in all these situations? I don't mind you doing your own thing if you're my daughter, making your content or whatever. Although, as I was raised, your last name is my last name. You are a representation of myself. I would be pretty upset about it. I'm not going to lie to you if I saw that you were making this sort of content, but you're doing what you do. You support yourself. Hopefully is the happiest and healthiest and safest that you've been. And hopefully you're not taking 30 inches, but that has nothing to do with me. Honestly, if you are staying safe and not involving people and you're making money, then I really don't care. But to the point where you're bringing in children to do this, bringing in siblings to do this, that's where I would draw the line. And I would especially feel some type of way if not only were you bringing in your own sibling to do this, but bringing in other random kids to do this. That's crazy.
Would you rather have this girl or this Urus?
I'm taking that Urus.
Urus?
Yep.
All right. Would you rather have this girl or this McLaren? McLaren? Oh, okay. All right, well, sorry. All right, would you rather have this girl or this blue Lambo?
Lambo.
Still? Not good enough for you?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Now that clip is so disgusting, but the first thing I thought was, well, I think I've seen that McLaren before. Is that?
I did not think this was going to be happening today.
Me
guys, my McLaren is totaled a couple days before my 21st birthday. Yeah. Bro, there's literally gas pouring out of your car. I didn't fill up my tank today.
And I knew for a fact this would come up. That is Jack Doherty's girlfriend and Jack Doherty's McLaren, and he's using Baby Gronk, or they're using Baby Gronk to promote her OF. Where are the parents? Why do the women think that this is okay? And who is watching this video saying, I want to see what Baby Gronk is losing if he doesn't choose the woman as opposed to the McLaren? All of these parties involved are sick as fuck. Now, I've been on the other sides of family content. My brother is known as Mr. Kroger on the internet, and I can't escape that. But the problem is, I'm an older, mature person. I know how to handle and navigate those spaces, and I know how to combat that correctly. When you have somebody who is younger, who is in that same situation, I don't know what they would say or do in order to combat the notions or rumors that their sister is doing OnlyFans. This is honestly embarrassing. And this has been the fear for a lot of people, saying that, hey, your mother is going to become this thing. Because I can remember when Kim Kardashian talked about how Northwest found her tape online playing Roblox. But ultimately, it is different when these people are younger. It just hits so much harder home. And really, this is just a display of the one-up culture that I talk about in streaming. The other OF content creators that are up and up, them doing it is disgusting, but ultimately they are big regardless. The problem is that the younger, newer, inexperienced content creators are gonna see this madness and say to themselves, I have to do some sort of replication of this nonsense in order to get some sort of fan base or some sort of audience. Now, the real gooners are gonna know what I'm talking about here, but the videos of content creators walking down with man specimen across their face, up and down escalators, or doing these videos in public, having sex with cones and fire hydrants, making these prank videos where real police are called, but they're smashing out in public. All these things are diabolical. And what they really don't tell you is all the situations that you end up in based off of you doing this content aren't really worth it. Sometimes that juice isn't worth the squeeze because a lot of people aren't going to end up like Corinna. There may be a lot of mental health issues involved in creating these clips and these viral moments. Hell, we can even see it in regular content creation where people say, hey, I regret the things that I've done in the past in order to make content. I'm trying to make a new name for myself, but it's hurting my mental and my psyche. You can only imagine how it affects people in the OF lane. But then when they start losing subs and the money isn't there, they find ways to top themselves more and more and more, end up in more dangerous situations where they're playing the game looser, they're playing the game faster, until you're on an Aiden Ross stream trying to explain yourself as to how you got HSV2 from a content creator that you fantasized over after having sex with the entire streaming industry because you weren't playing the game safe because you apparently needed the money. And you can have thick skin all you want, but a 2002 study showed that literally these OnlyFans or sex workers internalize all the stigmas behind the profession that they're in, and it ultimately ends up to them leading lonelier lives. Especially for the females out there, I'm sorry to tell you this is just the reality of the situation. They face harsher criticism, consequences, backlash for the content that they make as opposed to their male counterpart. If a man creates an OF, he might be deemed as a weirdo, he might be seen as a so-and-so, some of them even might seem that he is the man. We can even see it in the Gucci third leg situation. There are less people holding him accountable, less people calling for his head and, criticizing him than there are Danae Davis or whatever her name is in this situation. And some people may be thinking, oh, it's okay because I'll just start off by making this softcore content. I'll have a bunch of pictures and just be in my lingerie or there'll be feet. But before you know it, and I can guarantee this, you'll have your titties out on the internet because you decided to go down this path. Now, what's rarely ever talked about in this situation is what happens when you grow up. It's something that a lot of content creators, or hell, even people with regular jobs, think to themselves, hey, in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, do I see myself doing this? I'm 27 years old right now. I'm into the consulting world. I'm into the coding world. I'm into the nursing field. Do I want to be doing this when I'm 40? And a lot of people say to themselves, hey, maybe, maybe not. But the thing about it is my career, my actual 9 to 5 right now will not be thrown in my face when I'm older.
Who made that? Who made that? Let me see. Click on it. Chloe, come here. I feel like you're the only one that would understand. Okay, I'm coming. I'm not sure what this means. This is a character on Roblox, what it says. What? I know, that's why I said.
That's not my character, that's a game.
Oh, it's a game? Yeah. Oh, well then we're suing them if it's a game with my name and picture.
There was a picture of my cry face, and then I looked at it and it said something super inappropriate, like Kim's new sex tape. It's supposed to be unreleased footage from my old sex tape. The last thing that I want as a mom is for my past to be brought up 20 years later. This is some real embarrassing shit, and I need to deal with it. And I will deal with it. I just cannot believe this is happening right now.
Now, for the most part, I think a lot of people would move on in these situations. You'll be able to find a happy, healthy life. However, don't believe that these things won't blow up in your face. And how you deal with it is how you deal with it. But just like Kim Kardashian, even Pamela Anderson's kids have had a hard time growing up, and they've had to learn how to fight more because their mother was seen as a sex symbol. And I think that stuff happened even before she put out any sort of new content. This was just from her being a video vixen back in the late 90s, early 2000s.
When I was a kid, I thought everyone knew things about me and my family that they never should have known. And like everyone had this dirty little secret about my family. I just remember in school, like if anyone ever brought up my mom, I was very quick to fight.
The worst part about this is we're talking about the top of the top. I'm not even talking about the people that are going to be average or more common in these situations, the ones that don't make a lot of money. Pam Anderson, Kim Kardashian, Corinna Kampf, even that woman that showed her finances on TikTok earlier in this video, they might be able to get a pass. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people will sell their souls for $80, $90, $100,000 in a month. That's an insane amount of money. Don't get me wrong, I probably wouldn't do it, but maybe if the bag was right, you might see my tip.
Pause.
But there's studies that show that the average OnlyFans content creator makes about $160 a month. You can look at statistics behind entrepreneurship as a whole anyway, and they don't earn a lot of money. So think about the people that are shelling out their morals, that are taking off their clothes for only a little bit of money and having lifelong impacts on their mental, their physical, and all these other things. I just don't see it being worth it.
This makes me so sad and so angry at OnlyFans. OnlyFans is so gross because it literally weaseled its way into these feminist spaces and convinced women that it is somehow empowering for them to sell their body online with false promises they're gonna make hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that's not the reality of it. It's basically a sex work pyramid scheme. In what other business, when the market is so flooded, would you continue to try to recruit young women? And don't get me wrong, I have no problem with sex work, but it is not supposed to be this common, especially not amongst young women. And I hate to say this, but this is the opposite of feminism. This is quite literally the objectification of women. You can have us at a price. What? And I don't know why I feel like I'm so early on this train, but I don't see a lot of people talking about it, which is again why I'm so proud of this girl for posting about it.
And another thing about this is the people that fail to make it successful or big in the OF world, what do? We've seen time and time again on YouTube where people come and go, they create content today and they're off the internet tomorrow. But that's because this is a nasty, fickle game. A lot of people can find some success in a viral moment or a good video and can't replicate it. But even if you do find some sort of replication for a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, think about it. At that point, you have only done a fraction of your life and you have so much more to go. How sustainable is this? Can you take 100 men at any given time for the rest of your life? I don't really think so. What happens when you have a good 2-3 year career? Not on the Corinna level, because at that point you could retire with generational money, but we're talking about the average people, or hell, let's even say that you earn $100,000 or $200,000 every single year. That's a great amount of money. What happens to the ones that can't continue that success for the rest of their lives?
Yo, what happened to all them girls that started OnlyFans in like 2020 and 2021? Are y'all still trying? Because like a lot of y'all failed. I don't know. I just remember so many girls from my high school starting OnlyFans like as soon as they turned 18 and graduated. And it's like they didn't even give life a chance. They just straight to OnlyFans. And it don't seem like any of them are millionaires now. So I think it's safe to say that this was a common occurrence that happened with a lot of people in a lot of different schools. So I'm just thinking like, do y'all just have like regular 9-to-5s now and just try to forget about the whole OnlyFans thing and act like it didn't happen? Or does it haunt you that there was a time in your life where people could literally pay $5 a month and have like access to like everything about you? For those of you that did make it though, when you making big money now, props to you. But for the ones that ain't make it, what's life like now? Because now it feels like, I don't know, it feels like your dignity's gone and it's like you tried to put yourself out there in the world for everybody to get and nobody even wanted it. And now you're just like, yeah, you lost all respect and dignity and you ain't even get no bread for it. I don't know, it just seems like a really sad place to be.
Now, I used to have this saying for content creators on YouTube all the time that, you know, there's gonna be somebody when we go to the movie theaters later in our lives that's gonna be sweeping the popcorn and we're gonna say, hey, aren't you Roblox guy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Hey, aren't you so-and-so and from the 2K era? It's gonna be like that. That's an inevitable point. But there's a difference between that and spending a normal day in Walmart and having kids come up to you just like this.
Hey, what your little ass know?
God, I see her Twitter, twin.
But you like 12.
I'm 17, twin. I just got a baby, twin.
Well, you 17?
I see her Twitter, bro. She a freak.
Yo.
Ain't no fucking way, man. His ass start grabbing his forehead.
Crazy. It's like seeing your childhood heroes in real life.
What's strange about this whole OF phenomenon is that they never look at the past to predict what's going on in the future. Now, I understand that people are in financial strife, and I can't really say anything to those people. For those people, I wish the economy gets better. I pray for more success, and I wish that there was a way for them to uplift themselves from poverty as opposed to doing OF. I know people want to be super harsh about your actions online, but hey, I get it because I've seen it. Some people would rather be taking their clothes off on the internet than going home to what they were going home to. But this is to the people that have the opportunities in the world, like the world is literally their oyster. They could go to school, even if it means taking out a loan, get a good job, etc., but decide to go down this path. There are so many past adult entertainers that come out and say, hey, if I would be young again and I could do things differently, I would. They regret their actions, their decisions. Now, I would go as far as to say they don't regret the actions and their decisions. To be honest with you, they just regret the repercussions of those things. They regret the fact that now they are 40 years old trying to live a normal life. And people do, even though they try to get off this thing that they won't do it, people do walk up to them and say these things. Their kids are being exposed to these things much sooner because, hey, your mommy is so-and-so. It does still weigh down on their mental, and it does affect them finding partners and happiness later on in their lives.
Even with all the success that you've had, you're an incredible mother now, businesswoman, you're working with Playboy, you still look back on that and you still feel ashamed?
Yeah, I don't like the fact that people can see me naked on the internet or can see those things happening to me. I think that it's gross.
A lot of these girls that are like diving headfirst into that realm and into that lifestyle, like, do you have any advice for them? Like, is there anything you would say to a younger Amara?
So I feel differently about OnlyFans and content created by girls individually.
Yeah.
A lot of the issues with the sex industry is professional porn, because it's led by agents who are 40, 50-year-old men, and they're very manipulative of young 18, 19-year-old girls. So I personally have an issue with professional porn, not independent content creation, like what you see on OnlyFans, Patreon, or any of those platforms. I, however, do think when it comes to age that people should not be able to participate in professional porn until maybe over 21, maybe even later, because I don't think you're emotionally mature enough or have the thought process to think things through fully at that age.
Well, Lana, I'm sad to say that these people that are doing those nasty things are also stepping into the OF light. But even outside of those nasty people, because that's just probably another layer on this glacier. We're talking about the Jack Dohertys of the world, the Andrew Tates of the world, who are setting up agencies to take advantage of those people. There are still ramifications for your actions. You still have to go by aliases. You still have to deal with these things. I agree with her. There should be some sort of regulations behind this, but the fact that people can do this disgusting, crazy, outlandish things to promote their OF is just a sign that we are in for a bigger avalanche of disgusting OF behavior in the future.